Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play the 7th Saga. And as we clank our way around here, I'm going to talk about what makes this version maddening to me. And yes, we are quite a bit stronger. Very much so. Mainly because all I did was try to grind up money, but it gave me, about... What am I at? Level 9? Yeah. And I have magic now. I will show off that magic soon enough. Like the next force... Excuse me. So let's show you off Laser 1 and Laser 2. His only spells he has so far. And of course the monster dodged it. Fantastic. But it didn't dodge my fist. And yeah, I gave up the potion because while I was grinding, I got 9 of them. The most you can have in any game, or any item in this game, is 9. So let's show off Laser 2. You didn't dodge, and it killed you. It also takes just about all of our magic to do that. So Rabilisk here. Rabilisk is a nice little town, not much to it. So let's keep going, shall we? Find out what people have to say to us here. Just welcome. That's it. Nothing special there. Where are you? Potion 1. We can't take it because we're full on potions. There's the healing area. There's all left for Bonro. So we need to go to Bonro. However, there is a gate, or there is a... Basically, we gotta open up a door. Gate of Earth. And we've got to go to the Castle of Erin and get the Key of Earth. Get back here. Gate of Earth is closed. Take the key away from Ramus. So, it's a big monster-filled castle. I smell dungeon. And we now have a bounty hunter after us. Neat. Okay, can't deliver. So let's go stay at the inn here. Restore the magic that we spent. And nothing changed there. So you get the point. All the people who want to get the runes left for Bonro, somehow, and we can't leave for Bonro until we open up, well, we can leave for it, but we won't get there until we get the Key of Earth to open up the Gate of Earth. And one of the other warriors has already fled the scene. Don't really need anything in here, but we will look and see if there's a townie. There is not. Okay, I've already talked to you. So let's talk to the bartender here. Might want a companion. There's only one companion I want for this run. My gain is stuck because the Gate of Earth is closed. If we help him out, he gives us a map. Maps are good, although not strictly necessary with this game. It is kind of a nice little addition. And it gives you an extra feature on the overworld. I think there's another one down here. What do I find? A protection seed. Yes, the stat boosting seeds are here. Just like they are in most Dragon Warrior games. Or Dragon Quest if you prefer the Japanese title. And we take it. We will save it for now. So the melee was a hero at some point in time. In the past, though. And now we need to see what other types of items are available here. Wait, what do I have? A bottled power. I need more money, but I will get that soon enough. I will grind up enough to get a couple of bottle of protections, which essentially double our defensive power. I don't have anything to sell, do I? No gems. Nope. And I do not want to sell the protection seed. I will have to grind up a little bit more money, but I shouldn't have to grind from this point on, really. I should be set for grinding, believe it or not. Those of you that have played this game before have probably just yelled a few expletives, calling me a liar in various forms. Was there anybody else here? Yes, there were. Yeah, okay. Already forgetting where I've been. What about you? Bothering people in a bad mood, that's what I do. So she's upset about Ramus. Well, we need to go take care of Ramus here. But I do believe I owe everyone a story. A story about what they've done to this game. So I'm going to go outside and farm some monsters, and while I farm, I'm going to talk. Actually, there's a much better farming spot inside the castle, isn't there? Monsters give out a little bit more money, gold, and all that. But anyway, first, let's kind of talk about the Japanese version of this game. The Japanese version of this game is called Elnard. Fairly simple game, fairly simple title. And here's the castle. And it's pretty well received over there, although not too many people seem to remember it. Seems kind of funny, doesn't it? Over here, the people that play this game remember it for being just breakingly difficult. Well, let's talk about something here. Let's talk about horrible jobs localizers can do to just absolutely screw over players. You know how most times when Japanese games got imported over here, they probably got lower difficulty settings, or, you know, what have you? Well, there are some games. Take, for example, The Adventures of Bayou Billy, and if you don't know about that one, look that one up, because that one was horribly, horribly handled, and made the US version just incredibly, you know, just so much more difficult. Same thing kind of happened here. The localizers, in what could only be conceived as malicious, you know, a maliciously sick, twisted sense of humor, decided to first that all of the bosses, and, well, pretty much all the monsters in general, needed to be stronger. So when they gave them varying boosts, and in you know, for example, like, there's the boss we see in this castle had his hit points more than doubled. I think he started out like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's like he had somewhere around 200 hit points in the Japanese version. Hard enough, but he came up with, you know, 400 plus in the US version. Yeah, pretty nasty upgrade there, really. And then they decided that the characters were too strong. So, if I ever gain a level, you'll get to see it, but all of the stats get semi-random, random within a range boosts every time they level. Let's see, you have Power Guard, Magic, Speed, Weapon, Defend. Power Guard, Magic, and Speed go up every level. I need 600 experience points to level. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, I ground up to level 9, but level 10 doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. It'll probably happen next video when I actually storm the castle. But, yeah. For example here, Lux, if I'm not totally mistaken, in the Japanese version... Thank you. He got... Oh, what was it? I have to... Hang on a second, let me get my note. I actually know what this was at some point. Well, I don't know it, but I did find it. Yeah. For example, Lux here. On average, he would gain 8 hit points, 5 power points, 2 magic points, 5 defense points, 3 magic points, and 3 speed points per level. These were averages. Sometimes you would get a little lower, sometimes you would get a little higher. You know, sometimes you'd bump it up or down 1 point, but it pretty much would average to 8 points. When they brought this game over to the US, they decided that was too much hit points and too much power, so they nerfed his hit points and his power down to 7 for hit points and 4 for power. All of the characters had this happen to them. On its own, this is, you know, fairly dampening. Not the most dampening thing I can ever think of, but pretty freaking mean by the localizers. But there's another thing that really gets me about this game. And yes, you are just watching me farm while I talk about this, because I can talk about it. You know, it's easier for me to talk about it if I'm not having to concentrate on where I'm walking and walking into things. But, in the Japanese version, they had stat boosts besides this. Once you hit level 10, 20, 30, etc., etc., the game would add +1 to the averages of every stat you gained. So once you hit, you know, originally Lux here was getting 10 hit points a game, 10 hit points a level. At level 10, or he was getting 8 hit points a level, excuse me. At level 10, he would suddenly average out to 9 hit points a level. At level 20, he would average out to 10 hit points a level. Okay? That's a fairly nice system, and it means you get fairly, you know, it means you get fairly decent growth, for lack of a better word. Well, in the US version, the localizers took that bit right out. So yeah, Lux here will gain 7 hit points a level on average for the duration of the game. He doesn't get those little stat boosts. But you want to know the really, really funny part? And the part that will make you laugh and laugh the first time you find out about it? Especially if you've played this game forever ago and remember how hard the apprentices were to beat if they challenged you? Well, the people you don't have in your party still get their original layout. Yeah, they still get their original, you know, they didn't get nerfed in the slightest. And they also get those stat boosts. Those level... Excuse me, just 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. I have a package. Nice package. So where was I? Oh yeah. the apprentices you do not have in your party will still get all the same power and boosts they did in the Japanese version. So yeah, you see why playing this game was just such a kick in the crotch. However, and I'm going to go back to town and, you know, not so much save, mostly refill my magic, even though it doesn't really get used, but mostly see how much, you know, mostly buy some of those bottles of protection, because they are very, very useful things to buy. But yeah. You see, I ran across something not too long ago that somebody that was upset about this, as I was apparently, decided to not completely make a patch for the game. Like I said, not completely, but they made a patch for the game that pretty much restores at least some of the sanity back to it. They reduced the monster levels back to what they originally were, and they may not have replaced the little stat boost you got every 10 levels, but they did at least restore everyone's, you know, stats to what they were in the Japanese version. So in this version, Lux is again getting 8 hit points a level. He will do that the entirety of the game, but at least it's not 7. Along with, you know, the power and defense and all that he gets. Yeah. So anyway, with that little mini rant over, and you get to see what grinding is like in this game. It's pretty much just standing still, letting monsters run into you. I'm going to call this a video. Next time, we storm the castle, now that we have some bottles of protection. Take care, folks. See you later.